Welcome back to the Virgo channel. My name is Laura. If you're new to the channel, I'm going to do a general message for Virgo. Know that energy is fluid, roles can be reversed. Always interpret the message as it best resonates with you. Also know on this channel and all my channels, I like to dive deep within the reading. So I do look at everything, but we take more time to look at the spiritual blocks, the shadows, see how they play out as karmic themes to help you understand why your person's doing what they're doing. What is the whole spiritual significance? Because a lot of times when we try to look at our situation from a logical, analytical standpoint, it just doesn't make sense. So it's important to look at your situations from a spiritual perception, especially the connections that you're in that trigger you, because you have an opportunity to shape shift the energy. That's why there's many different realities that play it at one time. It's your core beliefs that are dependent, on what you're really going to manifest because your habits and your behaviorisms come from your beliefs. So a lot of times we're not aware that our beliefs were built on experiences that are outdated, like we're not that same person, and they were based on experiences that were imbalanced. So we're judging ourselves from a certain perception, which is out of alignment with our truth. So we wouldn't be aware. But what happens is the universe brings us people, situations, and experiences that help us. So our soulmates obviously is one way that the universe really helps grow our soul. So in healing, you can not just balance out your connection, but you can shape shift this situation altogether where you're completely not even attached to that person anymore. You can quantum jump into a new reality, a reality that's much better suited for who you are today, not more in alignment with the wounds of the past. Anything of any importance, by the way, you'll find in the description box. And I say that because you always have an opportunity to enter into winning free reading with me. You need to like the video, subscribe to the channel, but the word of the video will always be in the description box. I also want to tell you that my website and my life coaching, shadow healing, psychic development, all inclusive life coaching link is also in the description box. So all you need to do is fill it out and someone will contact you if you're interested in learning, like I said, healing the effects of trauma while also finding your soul's path and utilizing your gifts to help you to achieve your own heaven on earth. I mean, that's really what it is. Your The information is there. You're more than welcome to take advantage. All right. Of all the different things that I have to offer, whether on my website or on any of the YouTube channels or social media. All links, important links are in the description box. All right, let's see what the word of the video is. And remember the directions for what you have to do will also be in the description box. Okay, the word of the video is resentment. Resentment. Ooh, somebody's angry. Like someone's really mad. You know what? I was gonna say they are really mad, but they're really mad at themselves. And then I pulled self-critical, and that's exactly what I felt. It's like this person doesn't know who to be mad at. That's what I'm feeling. They're so mad that they don't know who to be mad at, but they're really mad at themselves because this person knows that they should have given you more. They know now who you are, where they didn't know who you were before. This person has major trust issues, and they have gone, I feel like, through a lot of bad relationships, haven't done much healing, self-reflecting, and I feel like this person um, got triggered easily and then got prideful, and now you're in separation. But this person also didn't give you much when you were in this person's life. And it's not because this person didn't have a connection to you. I feel like they always thought you were going to be there because you were so nice. I feel like you're a genuine person. You're a real person, but they took that as weak. because you don't play games, you don't like drama. So they could feel your sensitivity and they have a connection. So it was like, you're always going to be there. I don't really need to figure it out right now. And I'm also not ready for that type of connection. So they're looking at the situation of how they treated you through your eyes now. And I feel like that's why they are really angry because they're judging themselves. But they also feel like, but you know this about me, that I'm not really good. Like, I feel like you can read me, you know me. And it's like almost like, why can't you just like pretend that it didn't happen? Like, why can't you just like again not hold my feet to the fire? That's the like this person knows that you're holding them accountable, and it's exasperating how they feel about themselves, which is again not really good and self-critical. Because I feel like they know that they took things to the extreme and they didn't really need to do it. It's almost like, well, you were so nice. I was so sure that you would come back. I was so sure that you wouldn't hold me to it. I was so sure. And this person isn't used to people holding them to it. So that's part of it also, and that's like you're making this person like, see, they're haunted. They are haunted. It's like everything. I feel like it keeps replaying in their mind, and now every time that they're really reflecting it back on how they treated you, they're actually mortified because they know that they were self-righteous. They acted like they didn't care. They acted like who they were, and they were unaware. They were in their ego. Again, they were unaware of that this was really a true connection too. I feel like this person's used to dealing with people that are full of crap. That they're here, they're normally in and out of relationships, here for a good time, not a long time, and everyone's a liar. I just feel that this person during separation has gotten to know you more than when you were actually in their life. Because I feel like they didn't even pay attention when you were in their life. Not they didn't give enough. The reason why it was like they were always in search for like somebody or something. They just never really gave you the time. But understand what they were in search for was something that was missing inside of them. And they know that you had expectations. And I feel like this person also had expectations of what they expected to find in a person, and this person also thought, well, you're gonna give me the time because I feel like you're so nice, you're so honest, you show up for people, you're a really caring person. But, they were unrealistic. They were only looking at things from their perception. And I feel like you also felt like when you were dealing with them, they just had over the top behavior, just very over the top behavior. Like they said, like dramatic, but I feel like part of that is they like to play games with people, and part of playing games is you would call them out on something like, let's just say, hey, I thought that we were going to go to dinner on Tuesday, and they would say, well, I was in a car accident and my aunt was in the hospital, and like over the top, like dramatic to try and convince you, that, oh no, but there was this sense that you just always felt that this person wasn't genuine. And that's what this person didn't get. It's like the connection that you had with this person began to deteriorate because of this, where you're like, are you toying with me? Like, why are you toying with me? This person like long ago shut down those parts of themselves that wanted love and romance and intimacy. But you came along and it kind of made them open up back up to that. But that doesn't mean that they really know how to go about it, if that makes sense. There's a like you'd think that it's like, oh, it's like getting up on your bicycle again. You fell out of love, you don't want to love again, so you don't love, and then all of a sudden you meet someone and you go back This person doesn't want to fall back into the same habits and behaviorisms. They don't want, they have no good references. So that's why they shut down those parts of themselves long ago. That's why they didn't give you the time. That's why, yes, they saw that your love and your softness and your sensitivity as a weakness almost and also making them feel weak, not comfortable, feeling vulnerable, not feeling. But now this person feels like you're like again pulling away and it's triggering this person, and that's what's making them, again, should realize, hey, like I shut down those parts of myself. And I feel like because it is a spiritual connection, this person can't really get away from it because you show up in their dreams but all to help them, but they have a hard time surrendering to this. It's triggering for them. But on a spiritual level, they know that from a higher perspective, it's clearing energy and bringing you closer together because, again, that energy of unconditional love is there. However, it's like the conscious part of themselves is stuck in patterns. The spirit part of self, which is of unconditional love, recognizes the connection, wants the connection, but like I said, the ego is fragile to criticism and rejection. So this person gets triggered a lot. They put walls up. But that doesn't mean that they don't have feelings for you. It's like picture a child that's hiding to see whether or not, the parent is going to come for them and love them, or the child that's curious but doesn't want anyone to know that they're curious because, hey, they might be rejected or they might be made fun of or they might be, whatever it is. So understand it's like this person, like I feel like stalks you. And I say that because this person's learning about what twin flames are and it feels right to them. And the reason why is because they know in their heart that you'll be together one day. That's what they feel. It helps them to work on themselves. Understand that that's where what this person thinks, but they weren't thinking of it. Like while they were with you, they were like hell on wheels. But this person, from a spiritual perspective, spirit saying that you're incarnated together to clear specific patterns from your ancestral bloodline, and that you are the true love is what this person feels. Now, understand this person again, like I said, it's not an easy process. What you're going to see is a lot of triggering. And I say that because this person wants to let their guard down with you, but fear makes them lash out in self-defense. They get triggered and they know that the energy needs clearing now, that they ruined the connection, that because you're pulling away, you're not interested, you're giving up on this situation. They know it that you're over it. And so this person is saying, like, again, our union energy needs clearing. Repeat this 11 times with slow, deep breaths. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I love you. I'm grateful for you. Really, this is what they need to say to you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I love you. I'm grateful for you. That's what you need to see. Unless they say those words, then they're not going to clear the energy and you're not going to stick around. It's like this person needs to do it. And I feel like they have a very hard time being transparent. Like I said, I feel like they hide who they are, but they do feel like, that they don't deserve your love, to be honest with you. That they don't deserve your love. They're worried that you'll leave them when you really see who they are. Like that's their wound. However, it's they do also like want to hold you in their arms again. And so there's still like all this passion. So it's like, which I feel like obviously this person would like to not have that passion because it would be easier for them to walk away. This person has been in their ego, their ego, their ego, their ego. But what they're seeing is they're not getting the results they're not getting the results and they're staying in a place of resentment because it's like they're going to miss out on an opportunity. They have no choice but to come back and humble themselves. And so understand this person is starting to listen to their higher self. A higher power is starting to guide them now. Again, and here we see it again, expand your concept of what a twin flame is. That it's more about healing and soul activation to heal in order to embody unconditional love, which is love and light, which is the energy of God, which is the energy of the universe. And spirit says love like yours can change the world. It can, but it doesn't mean as much as you love, you can fight as much as that when it's a twin flame connection, because the ego is still very much there. The walls are still very much there. The only difference is in this connection, we have a hard time walking away. This type of connection makes us surrender. But it's almost like this person didn't know what they had till it was gone. And that's why they're like, please don't give up on me. I'm trying to make changes, but it does take times. And they're like, past lives are influencing our connection. That's why they were dreaming and you dream about it. Well, it's again, it's they've lost you in other lifetimes and that makes them afraid that they're going to lose you in this lifetime. They need to heal the karmic programs of grief to allow the love to bloom. I mean, this is what that twin flame connection is all about. But it doesn't mean that again that this person doesn't suffer. They suffer a lot. They're what it looks like is it's like they're kind of not coming to you because their ego is still fighting them. But eventually the wall comes down because God says, I always win. The universe always wins. Know that. No matter what. Just sometimes the person can move so slow that they miss out on an opportunity. And if they're the ones that miss out on an opportunity, they're going to regret it for the rest of their life. And the reason why is because the feelings, again, overwhelm them to where they become afraid. And again, what this person runs away from you because of it. And that is what I'm saying. It's like what you feel like sometimes is that, well, they come close and then everything's okay, and then it's not. And that's because the feelings that they have for you are paralyzing. The feelings that they have for you make them go inside, make them tap into the higher self. And the higher self will not really let the relationship go far until they do the healing on themselves because of that. So the person is actually battling their inner demons. That's really what's happening. But at the same time, this person is seeing you like walk away or pull away, getting irritated. This person does want to let their guard down, but they're terrified. But they're really, again, being put in a place of, you're going to walk away from me. Again, what we keep seeing is this fear, this fear, this fear, this fear. And when a person has that much fear, they're stuck in stupid. What happens is that they're focused on what they are afraid is going to happen, and they actually make what they're afraid happen because the universe is listening to that. It is not, oh, I don't want it. It's again, all through this is like, I feel you pulling away, and my fear is that you'll leave me for good. It's like these feelings overwhelm me, and I become afraid. Sometimes I even run away from you because of it. There, it's again, there it is, the trigger, and then what they do. And it's not anything that they didn't do in a past life on top of it, where spirit's saying, well, in this life, you have an opportunity to clear that karmic program. And so understand that it's they're afraid. A lot of it is conditions, but it doesn't matter. This person like um is really, like I said, being led into the higher self, regardless of whether they want it or not. Twin flame, they don't have a choice. That's the problem. There's passion, and I say that because it's brought this person to not just looking at their thoughts, but that like really looking at themselves where they're saying, I'm struggling with codependency and I'm afraid to let go of my old coping mechanisms. And we know a person that is, codependent, that that they drink too much, that they do drugs. They, again, might have intimacy issues where they have multiple partners. Codependency means that they feel like there's something wrong with them. And that's what you keep seeing here, that I'm not enough, I'm not good enough. I don't think that I'm good enough for you. I don't think that you'll stay with me once I let my guard down and I show vulnerability. You're not going to want to be with me. So again, they realize that they have to let a lot of that codependent behavior go. Again, we have a past life connection. Memories are surfacing either consciously or subconsciously. This person's getting bombarded. Okay. It's like the universe is being like, come on. It's like, and they're struggling, and there's an inside battle going on. Like the angel part of themselves, the God part of self is like, oh, I want to be with you. I recognize you. You feel like home. I've never felt like this. Love like ours can change the world because listen, look how far we've come. It's so many years, and I still have this connection to you. And no matter what happens, I still feel you're here. It doesn't matter. I've never felt love like this before. Oh my God, it's terrifying. It's like it's terrifying because you're going to expect me to be a certain way. Again, expectation, which is, by the way, not unconditional love. So this person battles with that because they were in their ego, but then the higher self says unconditional love there is no expectation. The person just does love you. This person's like, I'm not good enough. I'm not good enough. And then spirit says, you are good enough because unconditional love, again, there is no expectation. And this person says, well, I still feel your energy. I still feel that you're around me. And then what happens? They look at themselves and say, I'm a mess. I'm a mess. Look how much I drank. Look, who the hell am I hanging out with? Look, what is my life? Why does my life look like that? Because now they're comparing you to them. Again, I'm tired of being away from you physically. I'm trying to process my fear so I can come back to you. And that's what happens. Because again, love always wins. Love always wins, but it seems like this person really needed to destroy the relationship, like in order to realize. I mean, the song goes, "You don't know what you got till it's gone," and the reason why is because of that. It's like you realize, well, the person took advantage. That's what they thought, and they know that they did, and they feel horrible about it. They're so angry with themselves, and for a while, I'm sure they think that you were angry with them too, but I don't feel like you you were as angry. Uh, to the point that they needed to stay away for as long as they stayed away for. It's like that became their ego. That became, again, I don't want to, show vulnerability. So understand it doesn't matter now because, again, the person wants to come back to you. They're tired of being away. Their heart is opening and guiding their way back to you. And the reason why is because they're getting bombarded. Just messages are being exchanged consciously, subconsciously. They turn on the TV, they hear your name. You go into the grocery store, the person that's cutting their salami, his name is your name. Everything is your name. The things that you're into, if you're into spirituality, they're seeing third eyes everywhere. They're seeing, like, again, people that kind of have your vibe, but not exactly. And so, again, because subconsciously they're looking for you. They have this connection towards you. They feel bad about what they did, but the ego needs to come down. That's really what it is because uh, they know that the oneness is the connection, which is that twin flame connection. You feel like one, even though you're not one, but you feel like one. And Spirit says, don't let fear get in the way of this truth. And they know that they shouldn't let fear get in the way of that truth. But it's, again, this person is nervous, but it doesn't matter. They know that they're walking home to you. They just don't know where they are on the path, but they know that they're coming back to you because nothing compares and nothing would compare to a soulmate twin flame connection. So let's see why you attract this person into your life. Like, why did they do all the games? Oh, look at that. That one like kind of flipped over, and that's resilience. Card is resilience. Sasha is resilience, and Colby is confusion, right? Resilience and confusion, and imagination And shuffle. Thing, truth. One, two, three, four, five. And let's shuffle a little bit better. Well, I kind of fell out there. Okay, there, that's abandonment. And then there's one that fell out underneath it, source. So we got source, we got truth, we got resilience. Like right now, I have to say, like, even though this person might have played games with you, like you got a lot of gifts during separation. Like a source is your connection to God. Truth is like you say you're a truth speaker. Like you live your truth because you are connected to spirit. Feel like you did learn resilience, and I feel like the reason why is because you didn't really have the support growing up. Now, abandonment could just mean that your parents worked and they weren't really around. And so you had to figure out everything on your own. And that's tough for a kid. You have to gain resilience because you're going to be told no. And you're going to, again, it's not going to be as easy for you. But Spirit says, like, use your voice and imagination. Like you didn't get really one bad card except for abandonment. And that's why I feel like it might have not been abandonment where no one was around for you. It could just be emotionally abandonment. Like you grew up and have the imprint of a dad that was emotionally not there or a mom that wasn't there, but somebody was there. So it wasn't as bad. Like, but understand that trauma from not having that connection with a parent. And maybe you had one parent. Again, it doesn't matter the situation. It's just you perceived that no one was there. It's abandonment. The spirit says that when you're alone, that's when you again connect to spirit. Now, as a little kid, you don't know that that's what you're doing when you're tapping into yourself. I'm not saying I'm talking to spirit, but that's what you're doing when you're tapping into yourself as a kid. You're utilizing all your senses and seeing what you feel, and through that intuitive hit, you're trying to figure out how to navigate your life, how to come up with solutions for yourself. And so Spirit says, so you became very resourceful, where you were always able to use your imagination to create what you needed. So if you didn't have the resources, it didn't matter. You were able to figure out through your imagination how you can achieve whatever it was that you were trying to set out to achieve. And but it took resilience because it's not like you were told yes all the time. It's that you had to do it and you had to really live your truth. Because in living your truth, um, people felt that and people were genuine. It's like that you were real, that you weren't going to budge, that no matter what, it's like I said, you had a vision and you were going to be resilient and you were going to be true to not sway from that path. And so Spirit says, and you kind of did that. Like, even though this person didn't realize that, this person didn't realize when they didn't give you the time that you weren't just going to stick around because you have this intense connection with them. This soulmate twin flame connection is an intense one. There's a lot of passion there. They didn't know that. It's like they assumed that you were going to act like everybody else acts. This person doesn't that hasn't had good relationships. They're not going to put themselves on the limb. If I can get you to do it, then great. You weren't going to do that. You're like, I'm not going to settle less for what I deserve because I'm already in a high vibration. This is you because again, well, this shows that you were always a truth speaker. You always had resilience, because no one ever gave you anything. It's like abandonment, like you're used to emotionally not getting. So through your imagination and co-creating with Source, again, this person is now looking at you and they're like expected you to be one way You're showing them a different way, and also that your life is actually better without them. Like you're the muse. Remember that twin flame connection. There's always one that's creative through the imagination, and the other one is usually logical and analytical and good with money and good with structure and good with, but not good with friends, and a lack of a connection to spirit, which is what we saw that this person the whole time is in their ego and fighting, you know, their higher self, and then they're really fighting themselves. They have a war inside of themselves because they know already who you are. However, um, they have to change. They have to stop their codependency. They have to change, and that's scary, and they don't know if they can do it. And, that was their coping mechanisms. But Source is the universe, and Source is in charge. And so, because you're in your truth, creating yourself, you didn't sit there and cry. You said, okay, and you went along your business and creating yourself. So you're not unhappy. You're doing better. That this person now realizes who you are, the type of energy you brought into their life, and they miss it. And they're angry because they're like, you were right there and I screwed it up. So everything that they didn't want to do, they have to do in order to get you back. That's the irony. They're going to have to be transparent. They're going to have to be emotionally vulnerable. They're going to have to explain themselves. And it's scary for this person. Like I said, but Spirit says, well, love is healing. It makes you do things that you wouldn't normally do. And we pull three more to explain what else were you expected to do during this time, or what did you do during this time? And really, the Spirit says, when you went into uncharted waters, you know, um, you evoked your curiosity to discover new aspects of life so you can find new aspects of yourself. And that, venture with confidence. That's also what this person's noticing, that again, you're pulling away from them, and that you're not going to sit there and entertain something that doesn't give you anything back, that you care about yourself more, that you have respect for yourself. That's making this person respect you too. And also, like, your life looks good, you know? Ascending life. You're letting go of who you once were to realize who you are, and you're releasing the past. Like, and maybe the past would have felt like, oh, you abandoned me, because I was abandoned. But what you realized and learned a long time ago, it looks like anyway, is that as long as you don't abandon yourself, no one ever abandons you. I feel like this was a karmic test again, that because if you would have went with this person before they did the healing, oh, they would have been definitely a karmic. So again, you're ascending life. I feel like you're helping this person to ascend their life, to release the past of how they navigated their life, to see that love is possible, unconditional love is possible, even with all their bullshit fuckery. Like, they were still not able to, like, ruin the connection. Again, unshakable faith. And that's what it brings the person to. Like, again, what is God? God is unconditional love. What is that energy? That's our supernatural sovereignty. There is no separation from us and that energy. So we're able to create whatever we want to. And as long as in love, the person is open to it and you're open to it, this is this twin flame connection. Source, it was all over this connection. Past life connections, like, meaning that the higher self was helping even while sleeping this person to awaken to, like, this connection and what they have to do. But during this time, it wasn't like you were crying, you were creating yourself, you were, going into uncharted territory, finding yourself, being the muse for this person. And they're saying, well, your life looks better. Of course it looks better, because you weren't going to sit there being drained, be around someone that's toxic. Joy, like a child, discover joy in the simplicity of life. Happiness lies in the magical moments, not in the material. Even the smallest joy is a great source of light, where I feel like you live that way. And Spirit says, continue to. And when you get together with this person. For those of you that are, and then you're connected to your twin and you want to be with your twin, because that's this story. Spirit saying, joy. Understand it's to be of the highest vibration, to be like children. You weren't allowed to be children. So that's why you're meeting your twin, because you both have a hard time with forgiveness. You both have a hard time with being vulnerable and compassion and whatever. You might have grown up with that energy, and the person that you're connected to is like you feel like you're reliving these experiences that you already lived with a parent or with someone that you already like really cared about or was in love with, and they had a hard time being vulnerable. They had a hard time, where spirit says there's a lot of triggers and there's a lot of wounding. And so again, when people have felt abandoned, you as well, even though you escaped, there's still a sense of I need to be alone to experience that. And spirit says, no, you can have that with a person, but it's to be like children. Go out and play. Find yourselves. Again, like happiness is not this person and what they do for you. It's about creating the experiences. And that is what you need to show this person, because it's not so much that they thinking that they need to come in and give so much. That's not really what it is. It's that they needed to give you time. They needed to give you the time. They needed to create that emotional connection to you. That's what they didn't want to do. They're afraid of that. So Spirit says, be like a child. Discover joy. That's by going out into life and the simplicity of life, as simple as going out for a bite to eat or taking a walk in the park, and noticing the leaves change, or walking in the snow, or walking on the beach. Whatever it is to spend time to share of yourselves, and to be like child, because when you're out and about, things happen, and that you can again be interactive with what's going on in the environment, and it takes on a life force all of itself. And then you're not focused on your problems, my problems, what you should have done, what they should have done. Spirit says you have to put the joy back into life. Really, that's what it is. And freedom through faith, the Spirit says, calm your thoughts and rise above fear. Free yourself of all the doubt and entrust your doubts to God. Have faith in God's perfect timing. Okay, twin flame, perfect timing and perfect placement. That's what Spirit's saying, though. Yes, this is a twin flame. You might be like, this can be a twin flame. Spirit says it is. And trust that His will help you find freedom. And so again, freedom through faith, faith that there's a higher power and that there's a bigger reason to why you're in this connection, and what that connection is and how does it benefit you to create the balance. Well, this here, when this is your twin flame, when this person's coming back, they're coming back as twin flame energy, and it requires you to step into the best version of yourself, which seems like you already are. This person took a little time to catch up. So you say, well, then what was the whole purpose? Well, forgiveness is usually a big like theme within the twin flame connection. Usually you have to learn all the lessons, such as, such as compassion, such as letting go, and all the spiritual traits. Forgiveness is number one, because of the runner and the chaser in the beginning. Because this person had a big ego, they had to surrender their ego. Once they surrendered their ego, they're ready to actually do the healing. But they wouldn't do the healing unless the twin flame brought them to that healing. Because really, that's what God says. God says your job is to bring them to me, which is just unconditional love, by them surrendering their ego. They really won't do that. They fight with that in the beginning. They don't want to do that in the beginning because they're afraid. But it's all about clearing those family karmas. Really, that's what Spirit's saying. That's what's happening right now. And that means those wounds are deep, because You know, if it's just their family, it means ancestral, what was going on in the environment that created the behaviorisms and habits that now this person's walking around with, that they need to heal. But that's what this connection is all about. Spirit saying it's that the wounds are old and they're very triggering, and it creates a lot of fear, especially for this person. So you might say, well, I feel like I don't have that many. You might be more spiritual, where spirit says, no, you have gifts in this area, but you have more spiritual blocks in the physical realm, such as making money, where we would know that this person does well because they're in the ego. That's important to them, where I don't really feel like it's as important to you. So, like I said, the twin flame brings both their gifts to each other, to help each other, to teach each other, to love each other, to hold space for each other unconditionally, meaning without judgment, which is really difficult because, a lot of things that your twin is going to do is they're going to trigger every single one that you have. So you're going to want to react. But Spirit saying is again, don't. It's to learn from the experiences and know that this connection could be like the best type of relationship, a love affair of a lifetime, and to allow yourself to have fun, to again be like child, go out and have joy. It's not just about the healing. You want to balance out the connection, which means you're best friends, you're having a good time, but it's also you build trust. So when you say something to this person, they're not going to get as triggered. When they say something to you, you're not going to get as triggered over time because you have a good time, you know who this person really is, and you know that they're not going to abandon you because that unconditional love is there, even if they walk away, even if they're not talking to you like it is now, that they're still there, even though they may have walked away, their energy is still with you, saying, I'm coming back. It's going to work out. All right, I'm going to leave that there, Virgo. You let me know how you resonated with this one, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.